What's going on? This is the Let Me Say It podcast. We're powered by 1990 Studios. I'm your host, Chris, aka Stacks Edwards, and today we are sitting down with John, the creator of Honfest, the History of Nothing musical, music and arts festival. Excited to have you in here, man.
I'm excited to be here, Chris. You know, get to talk about the amazing festival and everything that we got going, and whatever questions you got.
Yo, I appreciate it. How many years have you been doing this now?
I've been doing this right now for like 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 years. And then COVID. Like, if you really take away COVID for 2, but 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Did you, during COVID, were you able to do anything? Like, did you try the virtual festival?
Yo, you know what? I mean, I seen everybody doing it and stuff like that, but I was like, the way that how our festival is, it's more of, more like we wanted people to feel what it is, and nah, I just like, I wasn't feeling it. I was trying to.
Yeah, I liked when you called me when we had the first conversation. I liked how you were talking about how you wanted to have different artists on and kind of give them that whole experience. And like it's almost like it's like the farm team for like, you know, going to the pros, right? Like, you know, you get that kind of experience dealing with media, like being in these situations.
Right. And then I like, I mean, for myself, like I managed my business partner years ago. So when he was going around doing from festival to festival and shows to shows, I mean, it was the atmosphere, it was like the experience that he was doing, getting him better and also getting me better as a manager, you know, managing an artist. So I wanted to give that same experience to the artists that we have that's coming, that's performing. Because I believe that like the more experienced you are, when you get to where you're going, the more refined you're gonna be. So the more ready you are for the situation, for the moment.
Nice. So besides having the festival, I know you have a couple different businesses.
Yeah.
But so you manage artists as well, or do you not do that anymore?
You know, I do a business managing for Kimberly August.
Nice.
She's a dope R&B, pop, soul, man. I mean, she does it all.
Yeah. Has she been on the festival a few times? Or
this is gonna be her first year. Yeah, first year gonna be performing at it. I mean, she has like a lot of her fans already like buying tickets. I mean, she has a really big fan base out there in South America, and you know they're like now and New Zealand, and now they're like, oh, now, yo, you going back and doing shows now? Okay, yo, come out here, come out there, come out and perform. So I'm really excited for her and her fans.
Where's she from?
Toronto.
Oh, for some reason I thought you said you're from New Zealand.
No, her fans want her to come out to New Zealand and stuff and perform. So
sick.
Yeah.
Damn, so she's starting to get that international presence now.
Yeah, she's been having it. It's just that you know, COVID hit, and then you know, so we went back to the drawing table and say, what do we want to do? And say this is the best situation for her to come out, and you know, and her fans are responding to it. Lovely. So nice. I'm really happy.
Nice. Well, before we get into more of the festival, which I definitely want to talk about,
for sure.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and like what's your background? How'd you get into doing this event? And like your background with music.
So me, like my background with music or just how I got into this is really, I came up with an idea. My friend, like I said, my business partner, he was in music all the time, so he came to me as like, all right, I need somebody to help me with the administration side. And he always knew how good I was with that. So for managing him and his songwriting, Kershaw Carter, that's who I'm talking about. From there, I got in with him managing, and after that, he took a step back from performing, and then he's like, you know what, I really want to get into songwriting and actually showcase my songwriting skills. So from that, you know, we got deals done. We put out records for a certain amount of artists. And then from knowing all these artists, we sat down one time and we're like, okay, what are we going to do with all this information that we have? How can we help all these artists that we know? And then from songwriting, we branched out into Honfest. And also because we know all these artists and because we have the like managerial background, we met Kim. So it's always like our music and our managerial background is always going to be what, like, how I got into this industry and stuff. So
no, that makes sense. I feel like you can tell just by that conversation how you're talking about wanting to be like almost like a feeder system to like, you know, give these artists exposure. That's like a management mindset, right?
Yeah. Of course, man. Like for me, I look at like everybody has a certain role they have to play, and like some role, like for me, I might be better at this, or I love to sing but I can't sing. I like to rap, but I'm not going on stage. Screw all that. But I like the background stuff. I like putting pieces together. I like connecting the dots and
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like yeah, it's like really it's coming from a place of passion, and it's like,
Yeah.
I really love this. I love the
Yeah.
music. I love the culture. How can I fit into this?
Yeah.
Just I don't have to be a singer. I don't have to be a rapper. I don't have to be a DJ producer, but I
No.
can do this part of it and then
Yeah.
be involved in it. And I feel like that's like personally, like that's how you get like the most fulfillment out of like when you're doing something you like and you stand
Mhm.
behind, you're gonna work that much harder.
Yeah, and I like to see the smiles like it puts on other people's faces. I think I get more gratification from that than anything else, because like what I mean, you have an idea and you took this idea and then you see the steps go by and then you see the end product. Like those things really excites me to even put on another one or do it better and improve on this next year's Honfest as I'm going through it right now. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm making jot notes. I'm like, okay, you know what? I gotta do this. I'll do this one better for the next one, or like, I like this idea. This is what we're gonna run with. So my mind's consistently going through things and how we can improve and like how we can make the artist experience
Hmm.
one that they want to come back to, or they're gonna spread the word. You know what I mean? Like that to me is the most important part of what my job is with Honfest.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So how did you like what was the initial inception of it and how'd you come up with the name? Like what's the meaning behind the
So
name?
Honfest is history or nothing.
Yeah.
So myself, again, I always say his name all the time. I big him up because he's my brother. Kershaw and his brother. We were sitting down one day and we're like, yo, you only have an opportunity to make history. And when we say making history, some people think it has to be in the books. It can be like you're making history with your own family. It can be making history with in your community. You can make history with the people around you and affecting the people around you. And it's either you're doing that or what are you really doing out here?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like what's your purpose? You know what I mean? Well, like you want to always try to obviously help yourself, but if you can help yourself and help others to get to where you want to be, like where we all can be going, that's like that to me is what history or nothing is all about. Yeah.
Nice. And so how'd you come up with the name? Like what made you go with that name?
Yo, it was just cool.
You're like, you know what, this flows
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Like,
And then when we break it down to like Honfest, it was like, yo, that sounds even cool too. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So it was a cool thing. It was like a cool name, History or Nothing, Music and Arts Festival. It just rhymes right.
And the whole like the whole essence of the show, of the festival, of the
Yeah,
event
yeah.
is about newer artists, right?
Yeah,
People who
yeah.
are kind of like newer in the game
Yeah.
starting out. So it's
Yeah.
like when I heard it and heard what it's about, I was like, "Oh, is that because like they're new so they don't have a lot of history yet?" And
Yo,
like I
it's
was
more for me, it was more like for these artists is like we have a community of people who listen to all sorts of music,
Mhm.
and then we sit down at a round table and we're like, yo, who do you think is nice? Who do you think is hot? Who do you think is on the cusp? Why do you? And then they put the whole names in the hat and we just go around and be like, why do you think this? Why do you think that? Why do you want this person here? Does this artist coincide of what Hanfest is all about? So I mean, the artists that we picked this year, I think that they're gonna move on to have an incredible career, and we just want to be like part of their journey.
Yeah.
So like when they talk about their history, what I mean, we want to be part of their history. You know what I'm saying, of where
Yeah.
they're going, and then we just hope that their experience is like is the experience that they are gonna have. So we just want to be part of their musical journey, and we want to do what we can as a festival to help them propel them to where they're going.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
I like that how you're like, you have like a team obviously that you work with and you guys sit down and you guys kind
yeah.
of pick, you go through everyone. I'm sure there's people that don't make the cut this year, but
Yeah,
maybe next
yeah,
year they come with
yeah.
some new,
Absolutely,
like
absolutely,
how hard is
absolutely.
that? Is that
Um,
that process?
yo, I love the process. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? For the like, all right, and I always say I'm a thinking person, right? Like I'm always thinking, how can we improve? Like, all right, so there's a lot of artists that submitted to be on the show, right?
Mhm.
And so they couldn't make it. So I'm like, okay, how could we and what can we do to keep these artists engaged for next year, or how could he keep these artists engaged throughout the whole year? Like, okay, maybe we send some information about some other possible opportunities. You know what I mean? Or like, we have these amount of artists that we're looking for, but we have this amount of artists that submitted. So what could we do in the show to help that amount of artists to help like propel them where they want to go? Maybe they don't get on the main show, but maybe we can say, all right, now we have the demand, the demand to do another showcase, maybe like highlighting those particular artists. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I like that part of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as a fan of music and someone who's really into it, it's like that's got to be the fun part. Is like, all right, how can we put together like a great show for people coming out,
Right,
and also like you want to help out certain artists who need that help, who haven't had those resources before.
Yeah,
you know,
like come to the mixer, and maybe you can connect with this person, and maybe that helped you move to the next step of where you're going. So there's multiple opportunities that we're doing throughout the weekend to help and push people's careers.
Nice. Yeah, no, I just do it. Yeah, doing it a solo. I'm always like, everything recorded.
Yeah.
We're good. I think
we're good. We're looking around.
My biggest fear, I did one. I was doing this other podcast back at the old spot, and me and my buddy were just doing a podcast on something. So I was recording like this, and I look over halfway, and I see how that light's red over there.
Yeah,
it was green, means it stopped recording.
It's like
I don't even know what time it could have. stopped 10 minutes in.
Yeah. But you know what? Those are good problems to have to solve. You know what I mean? Now it'll be like, okay, boy, next time I'm doing this, I'm gonna make sure everything is right. But but the thing about it is like you just get better at it.
Yeah, I mean, as an entrepreneur, there's so many things that pop up and like that you wouldn't expect or you didn't think of, and then you're like,
so many.
How can I pivot? How can I work it out?
And when those things do happen, I try to stay level headed as possible.
Yeah.
Some things gonna piss you off. Like it's natural, you know what I mean, but. Okay, now those things happen. You just gotta stay level-headed and just move forward and try to figure it out.
Yeah,
if you can.
100%. Yeah, 100%, man. There's no point in just killing yourself over something that you can't control. No. It's like, all right, take this as a learning experience. Move forward. Don't make that mistake again. And do it better.
Yeah.
Something I always like to ask, especially lately, we've had a lot of musical artists in the studio in here for interviews. So I always like to ask, obviously. You do this festival because you're a fan of music. You're passionate about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you, growing up, was there big music influence in the household, or what was your first experience with music that just made you fall in love?
This is so crazy. This is actually it's a crazy story. So, remember? I don't know if you remember, but Columbia House, they used to have that CDs, and you get a penny. These used to come to your house, and you can pick 12 CDs for a penny.
Yeah.
But it's not really a penny, it's $12. It's just the penny is just the initial start. So as a kid, I saw that, I'm like, what? 12 CDs for a penny? I go, I didn't read the fine print, you know what I mean? And I shipped that in, and 12 CDs came, and part of that 12 CDs, I kid you not, was Vanilla Ice, Tape, and Billy Idol. There's other music. My dad is Ghanaian and my mom is Jamaican. Yeah, but me actually sitting down and put a vivid memory of me listening to music like that. That was my first
you picked it? That was your first time?
Yeah, Billy Idol, White Wedding, and Vanilla Ice, because Ice Baby was out.
Those are some 80s classics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a variety too, two different spectrums.
Yeah, and with music, when you meet different people, you meet, you're gonna pick up certain different styles of music and stuff like that. My best friend growing up, he was into rock. So Nirvana and those things You know what I mean? Because I was hanging with him, he's listening to Nirvana, I'm picking up on Nirvana. I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't listen all Nirvana songs, but I like these songs. And then obviously, being a Jamaican background, and I want to get a dancehall, reggae, stuff like that. And then my dad's from Ghana, so I want to get, high life music and Ghanaian music as well too. But then when you bounce around, all right, I'm hanging out with different people now. They like house music. So like house music, like I love house music.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, like if you ever catch me right now on my phone right now, I'm listening to somebody right now. It's so crazy. Her name is Uncle Waffles, but it's a girl. So I'm just leaving it alone. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's dope.
Yeah.
She's a DJ out there, and I should know more. But she's a DJ out there in the continent of Africa. I should know a little bit more, but she's super, super dope.
Sick.
And I think she just infuses African sounds and
Nice.
house music. So that's like intriguing me right now.
Nice. I mean, Afrobeats in general are
going
crazy right now.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I got to figure out if there's some like Afro house that's coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Maybe been there for years, but.
Sick. Yeah, in a different life, I used to DJ. I still do a little bit.
Yeah.
But played a little house music. Like I was always more into like hip hop, but I did have a stint where I started to get into house music and more like dance music stuff, and always mixing in different stuff. And like we used to play Government stuff back in the day.
Those who know what Government is, it was a nightclub.
Absolutely, man. We were inside Acid Lounge, Chroma, Chroma. I think it was Chroma. It used to be the Orange Room back in the day too. Okay. But yeah. So no, that's the thing about music, man. Is like the more you kind of get exposed to like different people and like different sounds and stuff, like you pick up what you like in it. Like it's really, music really is like a universal language.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, like, sometimes I even listen to music. I don't even know what the language I like, but the rhythm, the beat.
Yeah.
Because I think if the music's good, you should be able to move like some part of your body.
Yeah.
I think that's how I think. I always feel like when we're in the studio making music, I'm like, this beat, the song has to move somebody's body part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I don't know the words, the rhythm and the you know what I mean, can make somebody move their body part, and then you like after a while you'll be like, okay,
you pick up a few things.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and then
100%. I relate to that because I'm really into like Cuban jazz, for instance.
Okay.
Randomly, I came across like a playlist, and like so many times I'll be having dinner with the wife, and I'm like, throw on the Cuban jazz playlist. Like I don't speak Spanish, I don't know what they're saying, but like it's wicked.
Yeah,
and I like that too when I'm if I would, like back when I would like be in school or I'm studying or if I'm like working on something where I don't want to be sidetracked. I like it too because I don't know what they're saying. I'm not paying attention to the lyrics as much.
Right.
So it kind of fits that energy too.
Absolutely.
But it's interesting that you can like, I don't know the language, I don't know what they're talking about. And one of my friends who like speaks Spanish, I like showed her, and she's like, "Do you know what they're saying?" And I was like, "No." And like she was just laughing. I was like, "I don't know what they're saying, but it just sounds good."
Yeah, it makes me move. It makes me like, you know what I mean. That's the best thing about music is the fact that it can do that.
Yeah.
No matter like I see. You go to concerts, you know what I mean? You see all walks of life, you know what I mean? That person might not know, you know what I mean, what that person's saying, but they
like the music, they like the sound.
Dude, like there's a song I said to everybody, wake up and you should have like 10 songs that are like, like a superhero has their theme music.
Yes. I know exactly what you're saying, man. Certain music for certain times to get you going. Like everyone kind of has certain songs that they go to.
Listen, where's the camera?
This yours, buddy.
Get 10 songs that should be like your superhero theme music. Like, you know how Rocky had their song? Like, have that. Like, okay, you know what? Play that one. And I, as corny as that might sound like.
Nah.
I have like 10 songs.
Sick. Yeah. What's that? What's one of the songs on the playlist?
Right now I have Hotel Lobby. I have
Rest in peace, Takeoff.
Yeah, Takeoff, man. That was crazy. I'm just gonna click on my phone.
Yeah, do your thing.
Okay. So I got, like I said, Uncle Waffles. I have Electric Feel by Management. I got Twin Flame, Anderson Park. This is crazy. I got One Way. It's a group from the 80s. Don't Stop. And yeah. And then Parking Lot Pimpin' with Jay-Z and Memphis Bleak.
Sick. So you have like a nice little mix in there. Like it's not all. Yeah, you ever run into those people where they only listen to like one genre of music and like that's all they listen to all the time?
Nah, you can't. Like I said, like I executive produce a lot of people's albums.
Sick.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I gotta listen to different music to
Yeah.
for just have a different sound. So when I go in the studio, like I can like, I remember hearing this type of sound in
Yeah.
this record. Let me see if I can
Recreate that and
or like you know what I mean.
give it like a
So I listen to all sorts of music. It's the best way to stay grounded for me
yeah.
at least.
You know, like it's like in the summer, man, like when it's like a nice day and like I'm barbecuing in the
Yeah,
backyard, like I might throw on some like Larry June or
yeah,
some reggae, you know, and going
yeah,
down this different vibe or like throwing some like 60s shit,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
Yo, I was listening to Frank Sinatra the other day too.
oh man,
I was listening to the Summer Wind,
nice.
and I was like, just listen to the lyrics of it, and I'm like, yo, you know,
It kind of gives you like a glimpse into like different time periods,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, and like you say, you listen to like for me when I want to focus on something, I'll put on like either lo-fi beats or like
Yeah.
um chill hip hop jazz. Like when I really want to like focus, I use jazz music to focus.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's not too much. It's not gonna you're not
No,
gonna like get sucked into the story. It's
no,
not gonna
yeah.
like hype you up where you're like, I'm trying to like
Yeah.
work. I'm not trying to like,
Yeah,
move
yeah,
too much.
yeah. So when you said, you throw on the jazz, I was like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. It's gotta fit the moment and
Yeah,
like, either keep you in your seat because you gotta do something or like, also like change your mood and perspective.
oh, for
Like,
sure.
like sometimes if you're just like down and you're just listening to like depressing shit, like maybe you should turn on,
Maybe you should turn on the
Donna
happy.
Summers or something.
Go on Spotify, put on happy music. You
Yo,
know what I
just
mean?
play Happy by
Yeah,
Pharrell.
yeah. Do
That
something.
might work.
Yeah, and
You
then throw
know?
on the Despicable Me too.
There you go. There you go. I was gonna say, so that's interesting. So your first experience with music was getting those Columbia House CDs.
Yeah, yeah.
And like so was music in the household growing up? Like your parents
Always,
play a lot of
always. Yeah,
music?
yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you probably heard this before where my parents had like parties
Yeah.
at the house. So, and then my next door neighbor, they had like parties.
Yeah.
My mom and them had parties, you know, and they had parties.
A little different.
Yeah, yeah. And they're my neighbors, So I got to listen to music all the time. And you go to the barbershop, there's music. Like there's always somewhere
Yeah.
around this music, you know what I mean? And then obviously, you just get exposed to different genres of music. But I've always been around music. One of my good friends I grew up with, he was a DJ.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So I was around like the going down to play the record and like going through the records and be like part of record pools and stuff like that, or just carrying the crates to go in the club for free and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean?
man.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I've always been around music, but even for instance, I listen to a lot of '80s music and '70s music now because like growing up, that's all my dad would listen to in the car.
Mm.
So, in my car right now, 97.3 is like programmed
Nice.
because it's like, all right, I remember some of these songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of these songs are actually nice.
Like I don't know how it was for you, but I remember like being younger, like at first, like I remember being young and like my
Yeah.
parents playing certain stuff,
Yeah.
and like you get to a certain age, and I'm like, oh, my mom they're listening to this. Like I want you when you kind of want to set up, you're
Yeah.
getting into your own bag, you're learning what you
Yeah,
like, what
yeah,
you
yeah,
like
yeah.
about music, and like you're kind of like pushing away from that stuff. But
Yeah.
then the older I got, you'd hear something, I'm like, why do I know this? Or
Yeah.
like,
Oh, for sure.
and then you
For
hear it
sure.
and you're like, oh wait, I get what they're saying now. I get
Oh,
the lyrics
oh,
a little
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
And like you have a whole new like appreciation
Yeah.
for like that old music. So like I'm like glad like my parents exposed me to stuff like
Yeah, of course,
you know?
course. And being a DJ, like you said, you just around music all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you probably part of like a bunch of record pools and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
back
used
in
to,
the
not
day.
anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So you already know like how that is, and with music from a DJ standpoint, which I always find so amazing about DJs is like they actually can control the crowd
yeah.
by what song they play and set up, and making sure it's in line with the RPMs for this. It's like it's a science to it where
Mm-hmm.
once you see it from the, like behind the scenes of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see like how the crowd reacts to it. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're just up there like push and play, like doing this," but it's like there's a whole
now it is more like
Nowadays, you can almost be push and play in a sense, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about when he had to like
you're
do records and like
manually, mixing the tracks and stuff like that. Like, but it's like even outside of that, like there's so much that goes into like picking the right tune at the right time, curation, like having the right stuff, and like like if you're starting out the night, you don't want to be playing certain music because that's gonna go off later.
Yeah.
Same thing with the end of the night when you want to start winding it down, and you want to bring down the energy a little bit.
I didn't know DJs practice.
No, you didn't know DJs practice.
I was naive, right?
Yeah,
DJs just come and they play the records.
Yeah,
but then I used to see my boy like practicing, like, yo, why you practicing? Like, yo, I need to know what songs I'm gonna play. I'm like, you just don't pick records.
You just
like, you practice. I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool.
Yeah, well, at least some of the best ones do. Like,
yeah. Let's put a asterisk in the best ones.
Yeah, like there's definitely those ones that phone it in, especially nowadays. I think that's more relevant with like the virtual crates and just like people just like syncing playlists and stuff like that, pre-mix shit.
Is it like so? Just have a question.
Yeah. Fire away.
Like, being like someone who DJ a lot, now you see how it is. So you came from the actual record 12-inch or Seratos.
Yeah, I started with a tractor similar to Serato. Okay. But I do have record players, so I do scratch. I use tractor scratch.
Okay.
And then I mix records a little bit. I'm dog shit at it, like
But do you see like is it like super easy to DJ now than?
I'd say like it's easier. It's easy in a sense where there's also so much information out there. Like you can go to YouTube and like just learn tricks and learn how to do certain things. Like if I want to be like, how can I get better at like juggling or scratching? Right? You could literally look up a tutorial, and then with the system you can set your sync, your cue points and stuff like that. Like before, when you're using actual records, like they're marking the records, they're taping the records, and they're dropping it on in the right spots. Like a lot more difficult with like actual vinyl for sure. So like, I think it's easier now, but it's also getting oversaturated, right? And it can be more difficult to stand out, especially because everyone has the same music. Like the big thing I was talking about with Typhoon was is like back in the day, like he would go down like even like you'd have to have the physical record. You can't download that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and he was saying like even like sometimes like he got booked in like Jamaica, and like he'd be like, okay, I'm going down there for a clash or something. I can only bring so many records, right? Because you're flying there. You're not gonna have like a hard drive full of it. No. So like him and his the guy one of the guys he worked with, they would like before they'd be going on these like out of town gigs, they're sitting there like, okay, what kind of party is it? What records can we bring? Okay, we can only fit this much on the.
Yeah.
It's
not like you're shipping it down there and trusting somebody picking them up. That's not happening.
Yeah, or just being able to like now you have a hard drive with like millions, anything you could think of, which can also give you that like too much music when you're trying to play it out can be like maybe a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
But like at least you have it there. So it's like different. Like I think like it's I want to say it's easier now for sure.
Yeah.
But it can also be like more oversaturated too.
Yeah, it's just more like it's the same thing with recording music. Like it's like you don't even have to go like if you don't have to go to the studio. But it's like everybody so crazy that you said that. I think someone asked me the other day, would you rather management? Someone asked me, do I stay independent or do I get a manager now? And I'm like, I said if you're looking for a manager, I mean you're not ready for a manager.
Yeah, I hear a lot. You hear a lot of like just like running into like young artists and stuff like that, and like. Sometimes I feel like people think that they need that or like that's what's gonna take them to the next level. But would you say like what?
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, like would you say like some artists? It's like if you're really that good and you're gonna be there, I feel like the managers are gonna find you.
Yeah, the manager will find you because you're doing enough to grab their attention. And then like when I said to most artists right now, I'm like, yo, you can do everything that like I mean, what is it that you need to be managed? Like what is it? What is it that you want managed?
Yeah.
Like are you receiving a shitload. I can say shit, right?
You
Cool.
say whatever you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
No,
cool.
this is casual, man.
All right, are you receiving a shitload of emails that you can't email to? Like most of these artists right now that you talk to right now are like still working. If not, some of them might hustle or whatever the case may be. But why can't you not return your own email right now?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you not set up your own booking right now? Like, I mean, like, how busy are you?
Yeah.
Because when you're asking the manager, you're saying that you have. Now, are there artists that need management? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But like a lot of these artists don't need management because, like, how busy are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how busy are you getting booked all the time? Are you stuff like that? Are you going to this showcase, that showcase, or like so crazy? This one talented. I'm not gonna say her name, but I think she's super talented in the city. And then she said, she's at a spot right now. I think like for her, she needs like someone because she's already did the touring thing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think for her, she needs more of like, okay, I already did all of these things already. I'm at this level now. How do I organize all this information that I've accumulated to get to the next level? Okay, cool. You might need somebody to sit down and organize. Not everybody can organize certain stuff. All right, cool. But most artists is not even at that level yet.
Yeah. Do you think like a lot of younger artists think like I'm gonna get the manager and then they're gonna get me in certain rooms and doors?
Absolutely.
When like in all
Absolutely.
reality, depending on the
No, you
manager,
can do
they
it
might
yourself.
not have the
Nah, you can
connections.
do it yourself, bro. You can
Yeah.
do like you know what I'm saying. Like if like I mean, it's just how hard do you want to work?
True. Because it really like I mean, yeah, as an artist, like you can network a lot easier now. You can connect on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You
Exactly.
do podcasts, hit up local
Exactly.
podcasts and try to
Like
connect with them.
it's just like organizing. Like a lot of people can't organize. And I don't see that as a hater. Like I mean,
Nah.
I even had to learn how to be as organized
Oh,
as possible. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So that's why I'm coming from a learning standpoint. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's like we live in a day and age. There's so many tools and apps out there that can organize your stuff. So for instance, if you're somebody that there's something called Hootsuite.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You pay your yearly subscription. You know what I mean? You can schedule everything that you need. So you can schedule everything that you have going. If you stay ahead of the curve, you have content, you can schedule it so it comes out 5 o'clock this day,
Like
5 o'clock
social
next.
media
Yeah,
posts.
all that stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, now you take care of that. That's like 3-4 months in ahead. It's because you already did the content, you already have certain stuff, and then you can always plug in whatever you need to plug in at a certain time.
Yeah.
Um, Shows. You know, what's so crazy about doing shows. There's so many there's so many artists in Canada that I want to do like stuff with and tours with, and
Mm.
my boy always kill me. He would kill me for saying this to him, but right. But it's like we don't need management to do that. Like, okay, cool. Like, I want to go to the West Coast. Who do I connect with the West Coast with? And then how do I set up a tour with those guys? And like, how do I invest my own money? Like, I always being around different artists is one thing I always like I love about I love how the mindset of like the rock guys are. The indie rock and those people are, they'll pile up their stuff in a van and just go boom 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 and just go play at different places and then it's called out a tour.
Yeah. Like really
Yeah.
DIY.
Right. You can do the same thing, but it's just like how to organize it, and then it's like also there's grants available for you right now, but not saying that everybody's not going to get a grant. But like, how serious you are about your craft? Like, how much you want to
Yeah.
invest in it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
how much you going to invest in it? Are you looking for? My boy says, are you here for the short gain or the long gain?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a
Yeah.
lot of things is like you can do it yourself.
Yeah. There's different ways, and like investing is key. I feel like a lot of people don't, they'll be quick to like spend something on like going out to the club or doing this and that when it's
Yeah.
like, and then they'll like, oh, like I gotta pay for studio time. I gotta hire a
Right.
graphic designer to create
Right.
this,
Right. Right.
and they're like get worried about, you know, the dollar spent there, but like when it comes to having a good time,
it's no problem.
Yeah.
$5, no problem. Gino, no problem.
I feel like that comes with age though. Like the older, like we're a little older than these younger artists, and it's like even I was like that when I was younger, like wanting to buy like whether it was like shoes or hats or something.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like not to cut you off. It's just, it's more like how much do you believe in your own self to be like, all right, yo, I'm gonna spend all this money in myself right now, and I'm gonna gain it back in 3 to 5 years from now.
Yeah,
because I've been consistent. Like I've been around like I've been around millionaires. I've been around like people that guys in sports and then and NFL and those things and I've been around guys who like started from the bottom and like literally like Drake said and came up. You know what I'm saying? So I seen how both places are and one thing I can say is they believed in themselves.
Yeah.
Number one, and they were consistent. Number two, even when times were like were rough, they were consistent because they believed in their craft.
No, yeah, no, 100%. Like it's so easy to like. It is like when you see somebody who's like willing to put the extra time and willing to put the extra dollar in, and like it's like it also makes other people see like, oh, you're serious about this, like, and they're gonna want to stand behind you and maybe even help you more because you're actually like, you know, putting your own dollar into, you know, putting this extra work into your craft.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when you go, like if you want people to invest in you or whatever you're doing, you have to justify it.
Yeah.
What's the justification why I'm gonna like this person or this grant's gonna give you like $15,000 or $500 or whatever? What's the justification for it? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Visibly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you doing the things necessary to get the money that you're seeking? Some people just like I always tell people like, yo, and I always say it again, you just gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent. Like you gotta. No one's gonna help those that don't help themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing's worse than when you see someone who's because a lot of people get like super passionate about something at the start, and they're excited at the beginning, and like that,
grind.
That honeymoon phase wears off quick.
Oh man,
and
tell
like
me about it.
You just gotta like just grind it out and just understand that it's gonna be tough. You might not get a lot of like stuff in return at the beginning, but like over time, if you watch some of the greats and some people who have like really done a lot of good stuff. Like they didn't start out just popping at the top.
No. They put the work in, and I think that's like what Honfest is really all about. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is part of you getting to your next level, man.
No, 100%. Now getting back to speaking about Honfest. What? Because I think people can get a lot out of this because people will see it and like even me like checking out your guys' stuff. I'm like, wow, this is like super clean, super tight.
Yeah, shout out to the team. Shout out to the team, man.
You see, that's the thing people don't see is you gotta have a good team.
To, like, I don't want to. No. I will never sit down here and take all credit for that. I'll never. That'll be like.
No, it's just, but you need that, right?
Yeah.
And for people out there who like just see like where you were at now, what are some of the hardships of throwing an event like this and throwing a festival like this that you've had in the past? Like whether it was just like working with the wrong vendor that just was difficult, whether it's working with a venue that was difficult, trying to coordinate all these different artists because you're bringing in people all over Canada too. It's not just Toronto, right?
Yeah, majority of the people. We got a couple of people coming from different provinces. We got someone coming from Atlanta.
Nice.
And then a majority of people like from the GTA and rest of parts of Canada.
Yeah.
There's so many things like one, you can't as much as you try to like stop the curveballs. There's like always like a few curveballs that got thrown at you that you have to deal with. That's that. Shoot, I'm trying to really think of some.
Like you're at Adelaide Hall this year.
Yeah, Adelaide Hall. Like,
what were like? Do you ever have any issues with venues in the past?
No, not really, because we just always stay upfront with the venues. I think always having consistent dialogue. Sometimes it's not like sometimes not everybody's always consistent, but as long as there's some consistency with the dialogue and it's there and they know.
Yeah.
And just be like, because okay, there's a bunch of moving parts,
Yeah.
right? So what I mean, making sure that the event coordinator is has all the resources. She needs the content team is what I mean, have all the resources they need. Kershaw, him and YC. They're dealing with the artists, making sure that they have the resources that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. That I think that like the logistics part of it, because it can get hectic. Just like a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, I talk. You know what I mean? I'm up till like 3:00 in the morning. You know what I mean? And I should be going to bed, but I think that and the unforeseen curveballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I imagine just with like having, all these different artists,
Yeah.
different people involved, all these moving parts,
Yeah.
like it's not just like and also like working with a team, right? Cuz like everyone has kind of different probably different different mindsets and
Yeah,
opinions on
of
how they want
course.
it to go and it's
Oh,
like
absolutely, absolutely. And how do you like, your idea is great, but not right now.
yeah.
Maybe we can do that next year
Mm,
because timing. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And how do you say that to someone and not making them feel like,
They're not being
they're
heard or
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That'll be like, I think you like, to go back to your question.
Yeah.
That'll be the most difficult part of it. It's like, I hear your idea is great, but not right now.
Yeah.
And that person actually believes in what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
then we actually remember that idea, because we're gonna go back to the drawing board again with this and figure out what it is for next year. Okay, remember the idea that you said at that time? We can implement it now because we have the time to plan
Yeah.
it, because it was a great idea, but not right now.
Yeah. See I feel like that kind of the way you talked about that comes
Yeah,
with like experience and like being able to like,
yeah, of course,
to
of
be put in
course,
that leadership role, like you have to respect people's opinions and then,
yeah,
approach at the right time. And I think that goes a long way. Like people who see that, like people that you work for you or work with you and they
yeah,
see you interact like that and then come back to the idea and it's like, all right. And it gives them that much more, belief
yeah,
in you
yeah,
going
yeah,
forward because they know
yeah.
like you
Absolutely,
stand on it,
yeah, absolutely. I'm like, and I learned that just like being like, for me, it's cool. I know how to be a leader. I know how to lead, but I
Mhm.
also know how to like fall back and say, "Yo, Chris, all right, you take the reins. What I need to do to back up Chris,
Yeah.
like what resources that I have, if I, you know what I mean, to make Chris is leading this. All right, use those resources to make Chris shine. Because if Chris shine, I shine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how that's how it just, growing up, that's how everybody thought. Like if I shine, you shine. You know what I'm saying? If you shine, I shine. If we put everything together, it was never I was telling somebody the other day. I'm like, oh, why didn't you ever want to be in a head? I like I love ball. We were talking about it before,
Mhm.
and why didn't you ever like to be a head coach? I'm like, if we win it, we win it. My name's on like
Yeah.
the same plaque or
Whatever.
whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like you're still a part of
Yeah,
it.
I still get that ring. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I still have stories to tell, you know what I mean? Maybe that suggestion I gave to the head coach during game 25 helped us win that game. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
it's not like I'm worried about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I have this thing I always like to talk about and say is I'm
what's
always
up?
like, like basically like you got to kill your ego.
You have to when you're
Like
working.
killing your ego is like such an important thing. Like in this industry, to be a good boss, to be a good entrepreneur,
Yeah,
to work well with a team,
yeah,
and even for your own like mental health. Like if you
yeah.
get caught up in that ego stuff where
Oh,
you
for
think
sure.
and it's all about you or it's all about me and it's like this and that, like you're just gonna end up hurting yourself. Like once you get rid of that too,
Mm.
like it's so much easier to just work back
Yeah,
and fall back and be like, oh, you're really good at this. Let me
yeah,
follow you here. You take the lead.
yeah,
I'm good at this.
yeah.
And
I'm gonna tell you like straight up and down, like what you said. Like, so I was thinking about doing a podcast. Then I set up like whatever. And then when I came in here, I was like, why am I even gonna do that? Like, you know what I mean? There's someone that has everything ready to go.
yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? That's what how can I now I can put my ideas in here because everything is ready to go or whatever the case may be, right?
Hmm.
And it's so true. Like, you said something that's so true. Like, we kill your ego. Now, you know this and I know this, or you know what I mean? We're learning from each other. throughout this conversation is like, so when you like, one thing I learned about working in a team is like, okay, cool, like you have an idea, right? We couldn't do it right now. How do I, or let's say you had an idea and the idea didn't foster exactly how, how it went. You know what I mean? How do I, encourage you to say, okay, you know what? The idea didn't work as well or whatever, but how can we learn from that to move on to the next idea that you might have?
Yeah.
Like things like that. And when you're like, holy shit, man, this idea. You know what I mean? Like
you get like
up,
people getting like sensitive because they don't like your idea. When it's really
Yeah.
like you have to be like, all right, listen to what they're saying, and like maybe
Yeah.
there's probably merit there, and there's probably a reason.
Mhm.
And then like people get too married to like their idea defines
Yeah.
them, when really like an idea is just like a thought, and your ideas can change, and like that's the best way to go through life is like not be cemented in one kind of mindset and one way of thinking. So it's like when you come across a scenario like that, you're not like offended. We're like, what? You don't like my idea? You think I'm shit? It's like, I don't think you're shit at all. This idea doesn't make sense for this project. You have a lot of other great ideas, which is why you're here in the first place.
Exactly. And when you figure that part out, like that's how teams win. That's how like we can move forward. Like Honfest started off with just 3 artists, and they're like really, really local. Like they're all from the city of Vaughan, and now we're here. And the only reason why we're here is because of that same concept. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very easy. I can sit down here and be like, yo, me, but then it's not really about me. It's really about I couldn't like the artists that on the show. I mean, they're super dope.
Yeah.
And it was great. It's super dope to see like a team, a community of people just throwing in artists that you might not even hear of or know about. And then that makes you like, and it was cool to just sit down and watch that.
Yeah.
And then soak in the knowledge from there because they're, they're a little bit more deep in that. But then they see what I'm doing on the whole scale and like, yo, you know what? I want to pick up what John doing in regards to that. So
yeah, no, 100%. I think it's just like that mindset that kind of like it does wonders for your business. It does wonders for your own mental health.
Yeah,
you know,
so you got it because I don't want. Yeah, like I'm gonna have sleepless nights because it's like my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But when you have good people in place,
you could trust.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That actually understands what your goal is and what Honfest is all about and wants to execute those same agendas that you have, just like you. And it's golden.
Those are the people that you want on your team, man. Someone who's gonna treat something that you put so much effort and so much like heart behind.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you see them,
1,000%.
You see them take that on, and it's like that's got to be like I'm a one man band here, so I don't have that yet. But like, even in music, working with artists, like I produce, make beats, DJ and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like working with other people and like. You have that kind of mutual respect and like, oh, this idea works well. Oh, no, let's change that pattern up. This doesn't sound good, like. But if you have that respect with each other, you'll work that much better.
Yeah. Because, sometimes you're like, so sometimes like, you feel like, this is just so crazy. I'm gonna say this, but I listen to everybody, but doesn't mean I'm gonna listen to everybody.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm gonna listen to you, but doesn't mean I'm gonna like, and not rude. I'm not like being rude. I'm not gonna listen, but maybe listening to you, what you just told me, had nothing to do with what I gotta go. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
You need to know when to just block that noise out.
Right. But I'm gonna listen to you because you might talk to me like for 5 minutes and like, holy shit, that guy's just said something like the last 30 seconds of this conversation.
True.
That was great. But I listen to everybody.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I listen to everybody. It doesn't mean I listen to everybody.
No, smart. Like you got to at least take it in because it's either going to tell you something good or it's going to tell you something bad that you're going to avoid.
Right, and then you're like, all right, well, thank you, but you know what I mean?
But no,
respectfully,
thank you.
what you just told me doesn't work for me. But thanks for your 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, man. Everything in life's a learning experience. With Honfest, what is some of the we're getting? I don't think this episode won't be out before it drops.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna drop some clips for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But I want to know what are some of the most memorable moments. What's a real standout moment out of all the events that you've thrown so far that like stands out to you? Like what's a favorite moment that you can think back of and you're like, you're with your team or whatever and you're like, damn, remember that moment? Remember how crazy that was? Whether it's performance, whether it's getting an artist you didn't think that would come, or like
it's just the concept of it, like how it started. Like we're just where
did it start? Where was the first event?
I kid you not, we were in those business incubators, like those like, oh, if they're nonprofit and they like, oh yeah, I can help your business, we'll help your business grow, and you take that that certificate, and then anyways, so it was a business incubator up in Vaughan, and me and my homie were sitting down and we're like, yo, what do you want to do, man? We have like all these artists are like, yo, why don't we just put on a show? Yeah. And I was like, well, everybody puts on a show. I don't want to just put on a show. And I'm like, well, why don't we just put on a festival? I'm like, all right, cool. And like we had $0. So it was like we had $0. We're like, all right, well, let's do this. And we're like, all right, cool. And like we need a venue. We had $0. And we got the Drake Hotel for free. Underground.
Nice.
And then we need artists. And we found, like, we had interns working. It's so crazy. We're business incubators with interns. But, and the interns were like, I got a couple of bands that would be really dope. And then we made, like, long story short, we made like $1,000. And then we're like, yo, shit, we can do this again. And then we did this again with, shout out my boy Tayon Gibbs from Vancouver. Shout out Tayon. Listen, look up Tayon Gibbs. He's an artist from Vancouver. Vancouver, super, super dope. Tayon was like, yo, I'm coming to Toronto. I'm like, yeah, I want to do some shows. And I'm like, all right, I got a festival. Like, I wasn't even going to do it again, right? And I'm like, I got a festival. Oh, it was called History of Nothing. And like, all right, cool. I'll make a graphic. And then he was on there, and then we got this girl from Montreal and this other artist from Toronto. And then and then it got bigger. And then we did like added little things in. We added like a mixer, and then we had like a private dinner one year, that same year. And we just added things onto it. So it was like, seeing it, that's memorable for me. Yeah. Seeing it coming from like nothing to now where it is right now, and I know where it's going to be going. Yeah, that to me, I like.
I feel like you can think back to that, and that's like fuel, because you're like, the fact that you're like, we started with $0,
bro,
and you're able to
bro.
Just
that's what I'm saying.
But with a passion, a dream,
absolutely,
and you had a plan, right? Like it's not like you're going in there with like nothing.
Yo,
you're
going the second one,
bro. They're yours.
I'm going through. Sorry, guys. I'm going through waters. Yeah,
do your thing. But like it's like you started with nothing. You had this idea. You put it together with your partner.
Yeah,
and. We're able to get into the Drake Underground for free, probably because you came to them correctly, imagine.
Absolutely.
Had the right information to share, like, hey, we're going to be able to bring this to here. They obviously saw value in that.
Yeah, and everything was, there's everything, like, even when like, the month it's in, like, everything is, like, strategically planned. Everything. Like, I was going to do a festival and compete with the summer. Stuff like that. I wasn't going to do anything like that. We weren't ready.
That's smart too.
Yeah, we weren't ready. And then I seen an indoor festival in Buffalo. I was like, okay, I like that idea. I'm very observant. Like I'm
student of life.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? If you invite me to your house, I'll be like, oh man, and I like how your painting is, and like this is. And like, oh, okay. And you have marble here, but and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, I like how this structure of this home is, and I'm like, oh, like that's just me, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm very observant. Some people be like, yo, John, you're fast. So I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm a student of life, like you said. So I was like, yo, if we're gonna go and do this for music festival, I can't do a music festival and compete with the summertime people, because just
you got to come about it a different way.
Yeah, and then like that much thinking or planning has gone behind this.
Yeah. No, but that's smart. Like you need to, it's not the type of thing that you can just like jump into, right?
Yeah.
And like you paying attention to like, okay, like being realistic too, knowing where you're like, I'm not gonna go into the middle of summer and compete with like,
No,
like a Rolling Loud or like a
no, I'm
Veld or
not.
whatever
I'm
big
not.
festivals
I'm
going
not.
on,
I'm
right?
not.
You're like, but what I can do is come at this time, do something indoor, get a
Yeah.
right venue, you have this
Yeah.
connection with artists, and
Yeah.
then build from there.
Exactly.
Right?
And then build on the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. And then just like learn, you know what I'm saying? And like and listen.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, listen to everybody, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just listen, okay, cool. That artist didn't like that when they went to that place. Okay, well, make sure we don't do that over in this. You know what I'm saying? They like that. All right, cool. Could we actually afford to do that? No. Oh yes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Let's be realistic with ourselves. Like, we can't. I want to like, you know what I mean? Do it like,
do it the biggest.
But I gotta be realistic with myself, my company, and where we're going and where our trajectory is to where we want. Like, I know I'm gonna get to the point where it's like, like where I need to be, but it's gonna take time, and I'm realistic with that. And if certain things in my 5-year plan with this, with Honfest, if something happened in 2 years, okay, cool. I knocked off the 5-year plan and moved into the 2 years. And you know what I'm saying?
You adjust.
You adjust to it, right? But there's a foundation and there's like a plan, and I knew I couldn't compete with coming out. Just nah.
That's smart though. Like you're looking at it holistically. You're not just like going off because you have big aspirations at first, but you gotta gotta build up to it, right? Like
super.
I remember I did this when I was DJing. We started throwing events and parties too. And we booked we did the Brunswick House. We did a party there. And it went well. Actually, it was kind of an interesting setup. So we had like a few DJs and then we had 2 rappers come.
Yeah.
And like it went okay.
Yeah.
But then we got super excited about it. And we were young. And we went and we booked this bigger DJ from Montreal.
Right,
and then we went to Revival, which is like a much bigger venue.
Yeah. And on college, right?
Yeah. And we fell flat on our face, made no money, did terrible. But it's like, we were young and like, we were just getting, in college, just excited, good learning lessons.
Of course.
Great learning lesson is when you lose some money. That'll teach you a lot.
Yo, we all been there. Yo, you lose some money, like.
Oh man, 100%. And if you have it, you haven't really
done
too much
good
yet.
job. Good job. Keep on winning. Keep on winning. Yeah.
But no, like had we approached it differently at the time, maybe we would have been farther down throwing parties. But at the end of the day, like life is a journey, and you go on different paths, you pivot. Now we're here with the studio doing this,
and we're here and we're talking about it.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? That's the best thing about it. Like I was like, oh my goodness, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I can't, like right now, it's like, okay, if I went. I said, okay, OVO Fest is on this weekend. This Caravana weekend. There's nothing. We're not at a capacity. You know who can do that? Oshiega. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oshiega.
Oshiega.
I'm sorry.
Your colleagues now.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful there, man.
Yeah. Listen, I ain't trying to diss nobody. You know what I mean? We're still coming up. They can do that because, again, their jaw is totally different, and then they have that market out there in Montreal, and they don't clash, right? Like OVO's happening the same weekend as Vald.
Yeah,
different genres of music, different thing, right? So you look at those things like, if you're gonna compete with, so you gotta look at I'm realistic, like I'm like. Even if I wanted to if I wanted to do something at this point in time with Honfest, it's not like realistically, we don't have what it takes right now to compete.
Yeah.
Right? So why am I gonna like try to compete when I know because I'm competing with their jaw, right?
Yeah.
Their people, right?
Yeah.
Why am I gonna try and compete with that when I know I'm gonna
they have a huge
you know what I mean? So I looked at it like, okay, nah, that's not happening. No. I'm not, and I want to win.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. I don't want. I hate losing. Hey, oh no, God, I hate losing. Yeah.
No, I feel you. Like you learn a lot in a loss, but like you have to have that mindset going, especially as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
that you hate to lose. You know,
Oh, I hate to lose, bro.
you have to just want to win every time, even though you're not. You
Yo,
may not,
bro.
but you have to have that mindset going in.
Yo, bro, I hate, like I'm not saying I hate to lose. Like I'm gonna go, oh crap, and start crying or anything. But it's like yo, I'm a big Patriots fan. All right, so my friends would tell you like years when Tom was playing over there, if they lost, I feel like I was playing. I'm like, you can't talk to me for like 2 days, bro. You couldn't talk to me. Like my boys would be like,
Monday,
yeah,
Tuesday, Sunday night game. Monday, Tuesday, leave him alone.
Leave me alone.
We'll
Yeah,
pick him up Thursday night football.
Yeah. You don't. And I wouldn't even watch I wouldn't watch none of the highlights or none of the sports shows because I know they're gonna be shitting on my guys. It's bad. Like I felt like I was playing for them, man.
Yeah, hey, no, man. I'm a Cowboys fan, by the way.
Oh my god, me too. And my heart did.
Oh, I'm surprised. Normally, I tell people I'm a Cowboys fan. They look at me like, "Oh, fuck."
Nah, yo,
especially being in Toronto because you're likely a Bills fan normally.
I hate the Bills.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a Bills fan.
I'm not a Bills fan.
No,
at all.
They can stay. No, they're doing okay.
I just like the Bills, the Bills Mafia, and everything that has to do with the Bills. I look with camera again. I just like the Bills. I hate the Bills.
Oh man. So yeah, you're born in the GTA from Toronto.
Yeah.
You say Vaughan? I thought.
No, I grew up in Rexdale, man. Rexdale, man.
Go.
Yeah, Kipling Ave.
Hey, let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I love that you're like doing this event in the city for Toronto.
Yeah.
You know, what I love about Toronto is just like there's so many like different cultural points that like come together. So many different sounds in the city. So much
so many
talent too.
So
whether
many.
it's in music, photography, different forms of the art. Is that a big part of this festival? Like, is just like encompassing like some like the vibe of Toronto? Like, is that something important to you guys?
Yeah, very important. As you can see, like 70% of the show is people from the GTA. Like, I was always thinking about, okay, there's so much talent here, right? What do we do with this talent? There's a lot of studios. There's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of artists. There's a lot of whatever. Yes, there's a lot of showcases, but how can you have the premier showcase that like people in the city look towards to and want to perform on there? You know what I mean? And that's the goal with Honfest, like to have the premier festival for like artists like at that level. You know what I'm saying? Where I want to perform there. So there's so many talented individuals in here, and we just want to give them a platform to shine, man.
Yeah,
and and like we have like Toronto. There's so many things. Like I have a big wish list.
Nice
for like the Toronto music industry. That's a whole nother podcast. But yo, dude, like we just want to have. We have so much talented individuals, and how do we help these talented individuals? You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
If that answered the question to the best of my abilities, man.
No, it works. It works. I just, it's cool. Like, I live in Whitby, just outside of the city. But if you're anywhere near Toronto, like you kind of just get drawn into like Toronto. Like it's like it was always like the big place to like
of course
hit the GO train, come downtown.
Yeah.
A bunch of my family's from Scarborough, so I was always in Scarborough and stuff like. And it was just always like it just felt so like large. But like I feel like sometimes Toronto doesn't get the looks like some of the big cities in the States do, especially in like the arts and with music. I think it's developing its own sound like hugely, and it's always been there, right?
Yeah.
But like I would like to see the growth, and I feel like
me too.
Like you go to LA, you see like LA. I listen to a lot of podcasts from like LA and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to see like Toronto have its own like ecosystem where it's like,
yo, bro, that was my part of my wish list, bro. Yeah. Continue.
No, this is great. Like where it's like has its own ecosystem of like content creators, artists, musicians, whether it's like the restaurant scene, and it's like there. People can just like go and experience everything.
The homie is there, bro. I think it's there.
Yeah.
And this is just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need more organizers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And there are organizers, and then but we need more organizers. Like I think you know, there needs to be other like labels. Like I think there needs to be other labels in here, but that would take time. I think a lot of it is just money.
Yeah.
I think it's just money and investment. You know what I'm saying? Like just going back in the ecosystem. Okay, we have Honfest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. There's November. There's like okay, what like. Oh man, my wish list is deep. I'm just going all over my thoughts. I'm sorry. It's like,
dude, nah.
Yeah, money has to be invested, right? And also like we gotta support our own.
Yeah.
And you probably hear that all the time. And it's really, really true. I mean, like, you like this artist, yo, like that $15 that he paid, that $20 to help his artistry to move to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta want people to come up here and like want to do business up here. I'm not saying that they're not, but I don't think they are too much when it comes to the art scene.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of talented artists.
It feels like there could be like a more of it, you know? Like obviously there is in some capacity, and I think it is growing, especially with like all the different podcasts. Like we were talking about some before, like for instance, B Rob, who you have on your show. We were talking about his, being on the Extra Gravy podcast. You know, and whether he goes and does like a We Love Hip Hop, or like now you got Gutsy with the Mandem show. Doing these different platforms and different runs. Like it'd be cool to see. Like I know all these guys do interview a lot of Toronto artists, comedians, people from the city. But like I guess you just want to see it grow and be more of that.
I think people need to just connect more, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, I think people need just to connect more over here. I don't think people connect as much. Personally, I think a lot of people like just don't want to connect as much over here, bro.
I feel like it's hard in a sense with like the general public, and not. I don't know what I mean by general public, but like like the average like listener or like a fan of stuff. Like some people like they just don't pay attention to what goes on in the city because they're just like seeing like stuff that's going on in the States. Like it has this big like kind of like aura around it, and people like don't realize like we could have all that creative content and stuff that we watch, whether we're listening to podcasts, watching interviews, like
absolutely
it can build it out of the city, right? And like if you are a fan of these artists, like you got to get behind them, support.
Yeah, you have to.
And then
you have to
and grow from
there. You have to. Like, yo, you like Double M, come out to the show. You know what I'm saying? You like B Rob, come to the show.
Yeah.
Nigel Birch, he's a poet. Zen Soul, Kimberly August, what's the name? Shoot. I got Roach, we got Shoe Ace, we got Pytex, you know what I'm saying? It's a variety, like, yo, come out and support these individuals, you know what I mean? Because, like, everything is, okay. Remember back a little bit, and I was like, everything has to be justified?
Yeah.
Okay. Say you don't come to the show, right? Repost my shit. And the reason why I'm saying repost it or repost whatever, because it's everything's algorithm. We all know that. I'm not going to get into the algorithm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
You repost it. Now when I'm going to the people with the money or whatever the case may be, I can justify it by saying, look at the numbers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just come on to this show and support these guys. Okay, cool. For me to do it, I consistently do it better or whatever, or whoever, they come to the shows, they see a certain amount of people there. Okay. It's justified why these guys need $100,000 or why I should Pure Life sponsor these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And work with these guys or partner with these guys because of the numbers. And then with that, it's just economics. Okay, there's opportunities for employment.
Yeah.
Because now we need more people.
Yeah.
So I can hire more people. So it's like, if you look at, like you said, look at what's the word you used earlier, holistically.
Yeah.
Like that. If you look at like as a whole, you know what I'm saying? And what you do can affect the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at it like that point of view, then the art scene in Toronto and the music scene in Toronto and entertainment scene in Toronto can grow. Like, you can't look at yourself as an individual into it. Like
you're part of it, right?
You're part of it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like a lot of people, whether it's like an artist too, or like content creators, or like a platform, like sometimes there gets that scarce mentality where it's like, oh, like I don't want to like repost this or give this look because it's gonna take away from my thing. When really, like, if you like, I love like sharing people's stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
They share mine great. You know, some people don't. But it's like, once you realize, like, if I can help you move up and we build that relationship, you're gonna end up wanting to help me at some point.
Yeah.
We're all gonna help each other and feed off each other.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's like doing different podcasts. You know, if an artist like you know, I've heard about a couple big. Don't need to name them, but some podcasts from the States. They'll talk like, you know, like so-and-so hit me up and say, hey, I'm interviewing this person. You should try to get them on too. Even though they just interviewed them, but like they might get a different interview out of them, right?
True.
And it's like sharing the resources.
Yo, that's so true. Like what you just said. Like, hey, now you just gave this guy or this artist or whatever, instead of one interview.
Yeah.
Now he went from one interview coming over here to 4 to 5 interviews because you just set up this guy's media day. Right?
Yeah.
Boom. Who do you think that person might link or the management might link the next time when it comes to Toronto or whatever? They're going to link you.
Yeah.
Because you just, right? So it really comes down to Chris, like, how do you look at yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to connect people or do you want to keep, you can keep all the resources to yourself. It's cool. But then they're like you keep everything in a silo, all the corners going to eventually just seep out to the sides. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just
share the knowledge, right?
Bro. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I've had a few people reach out to me on like the technical side of things, with like equipment, and like I just openly like, oh, I'll share like all the knowledge I got. And I had someone say like, oh, you should like charge for that, be a consultant. I'm like, I don't need to do that. Like I have my setup here. Like, the way I look at it is like really like if. I like just my personality. Like I like to share what I know, and like if I can help somebody out with that, great. If they can get something out of it, great. If they don't, I don't know, that's fine too. But it's like I feel like down the road, maybe me and that person we end up working together on something else, you know, because they're like, hey, remember that time you helped me when you didn't need to, you know, and that can like play out well.
You're talking about setup. I mean, they're asking you. I mean. Like you just said a while ago, you can go to YouTube if you really, really wanted to.
True.
You know what I mean? They just probably just reach out to you because, oh, yo, that's Chris.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I know. And then, instead of trying to,
it's quicker. It can be quicker too, right?
So, So you can't really, again, everything's perspective, bro.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, first of all, how do you look at this? It's like your perspective of how everything is. But no, man, I'll give knowledge away. I'll give like that away, no problem. You know what I mean? If you come and ask me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, like, I'm sure you have mentors growing up and people that you looked up to.
I still have mentors right now, bro.
Well, you never don't have them, right? It doesn't matter how old you get or how far you get.
I still have mentors right now,
There's somebody that's going to teach you something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And like, I can remember some and remember that. Like, you always remember those people that, like, try to hold you back or don't want to give you that knowledge or don't want to share something with you. And it just, like, leaves you feeling like
bro, I mean,
bad taste in your mouth.
Yo, I can reach out to an executive director when I need to. I can reach out to a published author if I need to.
Sick.
I can reach out to someone in the sports industry, in the women's sports industry. I can reach out to a teacher. I mean, you need mentors.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Yeah, go to like my family and stuff like that. And yeah, you need mentors. Cause sometimes as being leaders, you know what I mean? You think that what you think is like, yeah, it's right, it's correct. Sometimes you need somebody to say, honestly, yo, dog, that's not really right, you know, bro.
Sometimes you need to get checked and be like,
yeah, bro, you need that. You need that. You know, if you don't have someone that can tell you, bro, you're wrong for that one.
Yeah, you don't want yes men around you.
Nah, I don't have none.
No, me neither. Like it's like
I said that confidently. I don't have zeros. Zero.
No, I mean, and I think that comes back to ego too, right? Is being able to have that respect where you like, I want people to tell me like I'm fucking up or I'm doing something bad.
I need to.
You know?
Because like when I'm focused on the blind, like it's just like the horse races, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking that way, you know what I mean? So I need somebody who's like, yo, John, bro, you can't really do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? You know, because I'm always thinking, you know, we can get inside this club. You know what I'm saying? We can get in. Yeah, don't worry. How much people with us?
Like, let me talk to him. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll get inside this club. So, you know, you need if you have a bunch of yes men around you, bro, it's like, and when the money come, what do you think is gonna happen?
They're just there for the money.
Absolutely, they're not there for your well being. You know, they'll see you fuck up, and then be like, okay.
And if you are fucking up and you're doing something foolish or going about things the wrong way, like you need to have, and they don't tell you, you're just gonna go farther with like egg on your face when really, they could have said, yo, let's clean that off, and now put you back on your right path, and then it goes better,
bro.
right?
No, you don't. You don't want that around you, bro.
No.
That'll sink your ship. But as you grow older, and and you start getting more business like minded. If for those ones who are like that or whatever, my circle got smaller.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, like honestly, everybody I do business with is my friends.
Nice.
Like everybody. Yeah.
You hear sometimes like don't mix friends and family with business, but like I feel like if you have the right, like
click,
people, even like they there's a good chance I feel like they're gonna care more.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like there might be people who will take advantage of that, but like you figure it out and you know which ones are right, and it's like
you can be my friend, but we can't do business together. Like
you're too lazy.
Yeah.
You got to have them focused, but like I feel like that's good. You want to have a tight team where like everyone respects each other. Yeah. They respect where everyone comes from and like what the value they bring to the team.
Oh, for real, like it's the best thing. Like it's like for instance. My boy's very big in basketball, in the basketball community, and not in the community in basketball in Canada, period.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And he has him and somebody else, like they have the business going. I just don't want to get too much in that.
Yeah.
And like I sit on their team and I'm like, I have my own businesses, my own stuff going on. And when I'm working with them, I'm like, I'm their employee.
You know when to play.
I'm their employee,
when to wear which hat.
Yeah, I'm their employee, bro. I'm not like, I'm part of their company. I'm not, you know what I mean?
You treat it like a job, like you
you
give it
job,
that respect,
bro. Yeah. So I'm like, when I'm working with them, I know my role there, and then boom. And then, like, when I'm doing my own thing, obviously, I know my role there. And then, best thing is, like, when we collaborate on something, now I'm talking to them as, all right, one business to the next business, you know what I'm saying? So, it's all about knowing yourself. Like, I have no, like, we talk about egos, like.
Yeah, you can't have an ego when you're like that.
Nah. And, because I'm a leader here, it's like they're not getting an employee. They're getting a leader as an employee who can see their perspective on what they're doing.
Yeah, so because you already know like what they might expect because you wear that in a different field.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think that's like crucial. Like to be able to have that mindset is like huge. Like it's gonna make you more susceptible to working with different people. They're gonna want to work with you more. You're gonna build these networks together.
Yeah, and it goes back into the ecosystem now.
Yeah, feed the ecosystem.
Bro, like that's it.
Not everyone needs to be, the front of the band,
No,
they need some guy working the production.
They need somebody on the boards. They need somebody to direct traffic. They need
making the artwork.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's, me and you both, I want to see Toronto, like, you know what I want to see Toronto music and the industry? I kid you not, like, I think, like, so many artists that are not able to make music too because whatever, and I was just like, I wish these guys could make music with these guys because you know what I mean? Because I feel like, that guy sounds dope,
Yeah.
And then, that guy, I want to know how a track would be with these two guys, but
don't get along or
they
politics.
Don't get politics, and it's like they don't get to that point. Like when you see it, like game. All right, I don't like. Yeah, there's situations like that in other cities, but I mean, there's so many collabos I wish can happen in this city.
1 second, I'm gonna text this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about different artists like working together. Like it'd be nice to see more artists coming together.
And then, so crazy. Like, I don't want to sound like the old guy because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But people would see certain stuff and be like, oh well, they're working together.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Because there's people I want to put on the shows and stuff. It's just like you know what I'm saying? Like, if I put this guy on, or if I put these people on, because I gotta think about everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to see anything happen. I don't want,
No.
you know what I'm saying? I want to bring this guy here to my show, and something happens.
Yeah.
And that sucks because I shouldn't be thinking like that, but I've had to think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You have to be real.
Yeah. So
realistic, but it's a shame.
it sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, it sucks, bro. Because there's like a lot of collabos I wish happened in the city.
Yeah. It's almost like I know there's a lot of things that go into it that like people don't see, but like it just would. I just think
and the money, man.
Yeah, the money that they could even these artists can make, right?
Fuck, man.
You know,
the money. Yo, bro, I see sometimes I go on these guys. Because being a show director and stuff like that, you know what I mean. You always looking at who you want at Honfest and whatever. And I'm like, yo, these guys can make so much money across Canada and whatever, but it's just like, dealing with venues. They always, dealing with venues. They're like, okay. If I went and said we had like 8 urban acts or hip hop acts, certain venues is like, and it's like, it's not even because of the artist. It's just a stigma, right?
Yeah.
So,
which hopefully is changing though.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So sometimes I'm like, yo, I wish this artist can. I like this artist so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish like this artist, because there's some artists that I want to take across Canada with.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, and the money is available, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's money available for those types of things. It's just like,
yeah. Do you see Honfest maybe turning into something that could like be like going to like being more of a tour, spreading out of Toronto?
Yeah, dude, I already like how I have it. I want Honfest to be Toronto. I want Toronto. I want it to be Toronto people.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Yeah.
This is for you.
This is for the city.
This is for the city. This is for you. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm right now. I'm my business partner. I want to put a college tour together.
Ah, nice.
You know what I'm saying? And that'll be like
with like newer artists, younger acts.
Yeah, and that'll be like the annual.
I like that because you see, I don't know. I just remember being in college and they all like it was cool. Like, but they would have like there'd be like the older acts, like just like whether it was like
Chocolate,
Classified, and it was cool, it was fun, but like it'd be sick to see more of like the younger artists
exactly
that's coming up, right? And like being able to expose, right?
And that's how I want to do that. Man, when I like.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of promotion or a lot of like maybe I don't know. You correct me. I'm not in this space, but like I wonder if that's an issue. Is like because it's newer artists, like some of these like whether it's like the colleges or these like different promotion companies, like are they like afraid to like take on a new act?
You work around it.
Yeah,
you work around it. Like so crazy. I learned a lot. Yeah, observing. Like I learned a lot from like Dame Dash.
Yeah,
and like how he conducts business, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. I'm, if I want to do something, if I can't get the money from wherever I have to get the money, I'm just going to put my own money in it.
Yeah.
Like, with that, for instance, there's ways to go around it, you know what I mean? Like, if you promote it right, if you get the right people on the bill, if the artists feel what you're doing, and they promote it as well, too, you get like, how much people are you trying to get? You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to get 5,000 people, or are you trying to get like 200 people in a spot?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So then everything is optics. Everything is like, all right, cool. Oh, I'm gonna find a venue like this. I'm gonna do that. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what else are we doing? What unique opportunities can you find for these artists on the road when you're doing it? So it's like a lot of logistic stuff. So you can like when you're time to hype it up, it's like, oh shit, I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So again with content again. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it can, like my boy tell you, man. I sit down. I've been sitting on that for like 2-3 years, actually more than that, and it's gonna happen.
yeah.
Like it's gonna happen.
It's just like right time.
Timing, brother.
Yeah.
Timing, and then getting the right people. Like and I like working with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Who wants it down for work? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and partner up with the right people. You know what I'm saying? To say, okay, cool, let's do this, get this going, and like let's do like. The other day I was watching backstage with Jay-Z, that Rockefeller tour there.
Yeah.
That shit just got me excited, man.
Oh man, I love that. There's certain stuff for me too, where like if I like, it just gives you that fuel.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
You know?
This gets me excited. And I'm like, I've done a tour already, so it's like the tour life's road life's great. It's cool. It's tough. I like it.
Yeah.
I want to go back. I want to do it, but I want to do it right. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. No, I guess like you said, everything comes in time. Timing is everything, and I'm sure you'll get back back out there.
Yeah.
As we're winding down, one of the questions I want to ask you is like, what would you, as an entrepreneur, businessman, a creative, what advice would you give your like younger self with all the knowledge that you've learned now?
Prioritize you first, and everybody else second.
Yeah. Did you think a lot of times you were getting caught up in other people's stuff rather than
like, instead of like, okay, I have a good friend of mine. He put everything. He played ball, right? So I learned there's two people I learned a lot from. One of them, he put ball first and everything last. So even if that meant we're going out, he's you know what I mean. He's doing everything first before we go out. If a girl wanted to see him, I'm not cutting my workout because you want to see me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'm dedicated to
you know what I'm saying.
craft.
That dedicated, but then you got to see the results. So that has stuck with me for a very long time. And then 2, bet on yourself because you bet on yourself.
Yeah,
because you can control what you can control majority of the time. Bet on yourself, but then prioritize yourself first.
Yeah,
and bet on yourself.
No, 100%. Also, I like to say, because what's it called? I feel like a lot of people too, they're like they want to wait for it to come to them instead of like reaching out for even like you, you hit me up in the DMs and connect with me about setting something up.
Yeah.
Like you were just going after it, right? Like I feel like a lot of people kind of sometimes they get like too caught up, they're worried about it, or like they're afraid to like reach out to people. When it's like sometimes you gotta just like hit people up because they might be more receptive than you think. And you might be able to start something.
Man, my homies and I, we have this thing. Like, when you try to talk to a female, you're gonna hear more no's than yes.
You're right.
I don't care what anybody tells me. Like, if you get yes all the regular time, then kudos to you, bro.
Yeah.
But when you want something, like you're gonna hear more no's than yes. So I'm not afraid of someone saying no.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go to the next person and then the next person and then the next person and then like, okay, cool. Then what is it? And then I might go back to the person and say no again. Okay, why was there a no? What could we do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm persistent and I'm kind of annoying, but
you're not taking it personal.
No,
you're just like I have this
business. Goal. It's business, bro. Like, not everybody's gonna fuck with you. Like, you're gonna hear more no's. So I mean, I'm not afraid of a no.
Nah. I feel like that just comes with like experience. And like learning, like you talked about, like, knowing yourself.
Yeah.
It all kind of comes back into that. Yeah,
dude. I'm comfortable where I am mentally and stuff like that. I think I'll never stop learning.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that. And,
smart.
I have a good team behind me. I have what I need right now in my life, and you know what I'm saying. And
you're grateful for things.
Yeah, dude.
You're appreciating the journey too.
I appreciate sitting down and talking with you. Like,
I appreciate you pulling up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I love doing things like this, and I'm very I'm, I'm just appreciated and humbled.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I know you're like, I'm not saying I was born with a golden spoon, you know what I'm saying? But like growing up in Rexdale and like seeing like I had two, hardworking parents, and you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so I seen like what it is to like have a goal, and they're obviously
Yeah.
they're immigrants, and they came here and they have a goal, and their goal was accomplish what they want to do. So
Yeah.
okay, it's possible. And also seeing the flip side, like me if you don't,
Perspective.
yeah, perspective. Oh well, if I don't,
Do this, I could go down this path. I go down
and,
this path.
and you as a young guy, you dibble and dabble with whatever,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, well, this is not gonna work for me. You know what I mean? I need to do this, and
yeah, no, it's good to have those like people in your life, or like just whether it's experiences, whether it's good people in your life that kind of show you the right way.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you can take it from seeing people go the wrong way too.
Yeah.
And learn from their mistakes.
Sometimes it's your friends,
100%, man.
You
like,
know what I'm saying?
I think growing up as an adolescent, as a male, especially, you're outside, you're so you can just be sucked into like you put so much into your friends, and you like can be sucked into different things, and just so like you're so malleable at that time, right?
Yeah, it's tough to be an individual as an adolescent.
Because you want to be, everyone wants to be cool. You want everyone to like you.
Yeah, so it's tough to be an individual.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's tough. If everybody's playing ball growing up in my area, so it wasn't like I like figure skating. Ain't nobody figure skating in my area.
And you're gonna be worried what your boys
you get what I'm
saying.
Like, I'm going to fucking figure skating practice. I can only imagine what my boys are saying. I said, yo, bro, I'm going to figure skating practice back in the day, dog.
Yo, it's funny you say that. One of my boys did do figure skating, and we used to fucking just make jokes.
Oh my God, you see what I'm saying?
Bro, I know it. It's bad now, and I wish we didn't, because he quit figure skating.
Of course he did,
and you know
bro.
what he said? He's like, I feel like if I stuck with it, I could have made a lot of money and like done that,
Yeah, of course, dude.
But
the dude was fucking
people
probably
would
doing
chirp him.
twirls and shit. Like
we found a picture. He threw a house party. We found a picture of him in his figure skating stuff
on
the mantle, and we're like, "This is your host."
Yeah,
he was pissed.
Yo, he wasn't a Leonard.
He was cool, but he was like not happy that we did that. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, man, that's the problem with being around a bunch of like young guys. Everyone's just trying to be cool.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes down like figure skating, I'm like, out of all the freaking things to say, John picked figure skating. Like, funny enough.
We made fun of some guy for that. So you're 100% right, man.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. So that's what I'll say to myself back then. I even say that. I even say that to myself right now. Like, don't be afraid to be an individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be,
I feel like I have a niece now. I'm expecting my brother's about to have another kid in March.
Okay. Congrats.
Yeah, like we're excited, and I feel like I'm just thinking like, I don't know, it just kind of got me thinking about like where I was like when I was a kid, and like how like I was worried about different things, and how much I want to like when I have kids too, I want to like just push them to be like, what you see as being so important right now, which is your friends, you're in high school, like this is like the most important thing. I need to fit in and be cool here. As soon as you get out of high school, none of that matters. So if it's stopping you from doing something, like don't let your environment and your situation at that time.
If you like it, go for it.
If you like it, go for it. Don't get caught up in like, I mean, I'm sure it's harder now with social media, right? Everyone's just trying to be the coolest on the gram.
Yeah.
So we didn't have that when we were younger. I'm kind of grateful, actually.
Yeah. You know, I was wondering, like, if somebody came from another planet, and they took Instagram, like everybody's life is amazing on Instagram.
Yeah. Yo, it's true, but like
life's amazing.
But you don't know how many people that they're posting those pictures and then they're just like depressed the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting to get likes because that's just giving them that little bit.
Yo, dude,
and I imagine that's gotta be hard with like high school kids.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. Like I mean, I talk to a lot of young adolescents nowadays too, and it's like, I mean, when we rap about stuff, it's like, well, yeah, like for instance, like cyberbullying and stuff like that. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, coming from my time, I'm like, okay, well, bullying is more like in your face or whatever the case may be. And like, you know, people say things. And it's like, I couldn't understand, like, how can somebody's text message
affect you?
Like, not, they're like, and I'm not trying to say that to be like
no,
or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't fathom that because it's like, it's just words. You know what I'm saying? But then when I got educated on it, you know, it's not just words. It's this. It's
because you have the respect. You have the perspective of not having that and having that. They only know that, right? So whatever takes place on there is everything.
It's everything,
Where
right?
for us, it was like going to school on Monday, like that's everything, right? You know, you're at a party, like that's the thing. Like, I'm not worried about my MySpace at the time.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so when I got myself educated on it, like I can understand that perspective, right? I just couldn't understand like how.
Yeah.
Because like, when I made fun of you, I go, Chris, da da da. You know what I mean? I had to be like in your face, right?
Yeah.
And now it's a different time. So like that sound like, it's not a different time. It's just what the time. This is the time of what you're supposed to do. It's the advancement of technology. So
absolutely, man. No, I think that's a great way to kind of bring this down.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, is there anything else you want to say about your festival, about the event?
Yo, listen. Again, camera one over here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have an amazing festival happening on Tuesday, November 22nd inside Adelaide Hall. Show doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. You can get your tickets at admin1.com. Just look up for a History of Nothing Music and Arts Festival and then follow the prompt, or go on Instagram and follow us on History of Nothing Music and Arts Festival. You know, tweet about it, you know, post about it, you know, show up. Come out. It'll be some great artists. I mean, like these artists are really dope. Really, really dope. I mean, you'll appreciate, you know, just how the show is put together and curated. So yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know this won't be the last year of Honfest.
Heck no, bro.
Really just the start, in a sense.
Yeah, just the start. You know what I mean? We're looking back at this in like 5 years from now and go, Chris, remember when we talked about
we're going to have to make this like a yearly thing.
It's done.
You know?
It's done.
Absolutely.
It's done.
No, I'll definitely get you back in here. Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time to come, come sit here, talk. I love hearing about like different people's stories, entrepreneurs, like how they got started, especially when it's surrounded by music, just as like, just love for music.
Bro.
So
music does so much for me.
Yeah.
Music got me through some of the best times and the down times. And I was like, this is my way to get back to music.
Absolutely. And it's sick to see for other people that they can see you don't just have to be an artist. You don't just have to be a producer, a DJ.
Nah.
You know, you can love something and then find your place in it just because you don't, you don't need to hold the mic.
No, you don't. And there's more money behind that too.
Oh man, no doubt. No doubt.
Man.
All right, sir. I appreciate
you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we'll
man.
definitely do it again.
For sure, bro.
This is the Let Me Say It podcast. We're powered by 1990 Studios.
Yeah.
Another great episode with John from Honfest. History of Nothing, music and arts.
Yeah.
And stay tuned to the next episode. We're out.
Yeah. This is really dope, man. I like it. I really liked it.
I appreciate it, man.
Conversation was dope, man.